Hello, everyone. This is your girl Shannon from I'll Sip to That.
And this is your girl Jess Harlem from Sip to That. How are you guys?
Hey, sippers. We are so glad that you are joining us on another episode of Sip to That. It's been a minute since we have been live. Yes, at the table. Yes. So we are back at the table, and we have missed you guys so very much. And thank you for hanging in there with us through all of this time. It's been a year. Jasmine. A year.
We just turned one.
We just turned one. So Sip to That, it has sustained itself, and it could not have happened other than having you guys as our supporters and being there on our side. So we so appreciate you guys, and just thank you for, coming along when we transferred over to the radio station, all of that good stuff. So we have so much more in store, and we want you guys to continue, please, to stay with Stick to That. Sip to That. And as always, send us your ideas, any questions, any concerns. We now take Sip to That letters. If you want to write us in something and have me and Jasmine, kind of break the letter down, we're willing to do that if you don't know how to work that problem out. So, just DM us or shoot a little message in our instant message on Facebook, and we'll be sure to read your letters online or on the radio, and we'll help you get through that little crisis, right, Jazz?
That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. How's your week been so far, Jasmine?
It was great until we got this devastating news yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Nipsey. Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle.
Yes, that is awful.
My heart goes out to the family.
Absolutely.
And Lauren London, definitely.
Absolutely. I could not imagine losing someone that close and that dear to me, and just knowing that they're not going to be laying beside me anymore, or I'm not going to be able to smell his cologne, or just to hear him calling me baby, sweetie, whatever name, pet name, we have for each other. So, like Jasmine said, our prayers go out to the entire family, and Lauren especially, and the children. It's just so sad, the world that we're living in.
He was such a good guy, so,
Yeah, we keep it going, but they did catch the guy, supposedly. We know how the media does, so I don't know, but supposedly they did catch the guy that did it, and if this truly was the person that did it, I pray that justice is served.
Yes.
And I pray that he does not try to commit suicide, or he don't try to harm himself. He really needs to stand for what he did and receive the punishment in full.
Exactly.
Agree?
Agreed.
I'll sip to that.
Sip to that.
Well, since the introductions are done and complete, we want to remind you guys too how Sip to That work is very, very simple. Fill your glass with your favorite drink. We love wine, so it doesn't necessarily have to be wine. You can have water, soda, juice, tea,
Hennessy, whatever you like.
Whatever you like.
Latte.
Anything that you like that's going to wet your whistle. We want you to fill your glasses, and in the conversations that we're having, if you find something that you are in agreement with, we want you to raise your glass and sip to that. Just that simple.
Very.
Yes. So again, welcome back, sippers, and we have a treat for you today.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we're never ever going to leave you guys without good information and something worth sipping to. So, So, Jazz, we are going to introduce our special guest.
I'm so excited.
I am too. I am so excited, you guys. We have a very, very special guest that's about to join us. I ran across her on Instagram. Instagram is the hub for any and everyone. So I ran across her on Instagram, and, when I looked at her page and just the things that she did, it really, really inspired me. I was like, wow, I want to be her when I grow up,
I took a little lurker myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, and her pictures just warmed me up. Like, she just seems so sweet. So I'm so excited to get to know her a little bit more, and I hope you guys like her too.
Yes.
So you don't have a reason not to.
Have no reason. So without any further ado, we're going to bring a hearty sip to that. Welcome to Miss Stephanie Walters. Everybody give her a round of applause. Join us, Stephanie. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. And of course, your wine glass is already filled.
Definitely necessary.
Sip at will.
Thank you.
We have a whole bottle so we can refill your glass. But Stephanie, like I was telling the sippers, I ran across your page on Instagram, and it was just something, I don't know what it was, but it was something about you that just kind of, took me in. Yeah. And I was like, wow, she is really on the move. And, so I said I would love to get her on Sip to That. I did reach out to her, and this beautiful soul responded. She was like, sure, I'd love to come on want to show it you guys. So that made me feel really, really good. So we thank you, Stephanie, for joining us. Now, Jazz and I know a little bit about you, but the people out there do not. So we want you to introduce yourself and just let them know who you are.
Sure. So my name is Stephanie Walters, and I am a TV personality, and I'm also a program manager for a nonprofit called From One Hand to Another. And I'm a graduate of Hampton University, graduated graduated in 2008 and started working in media straight after college.
Wow.
And then ventured into a couple other things, and I know we'll get into that
Absolutely.
a little bit deeper, but yeah, I'm just really passionate about media, kind of like being around women and empowerment, and just like overall having like such a good positive vibe. That's like my whole like motto, just positive vibes
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Absolutely. I knew it was something. I'm the same. Yes, I would definitely sip to that.
You will sip to
yes,
that.
sip to that. And I am the same exact way. Positivity goes a long way. And when you have negative vibes, negative energy around you, it brings you down. And myself too, I'm always about empowerment or wanting to do my family. Jasmine's my cousin.
Different movements.
I do. I love just putting things together or trying something new. If this don't work, we'll try this together.
Right.
And I have a couple other things that I have that I want to do now, but not about me. It's about you.
No, you're good.
So you did mention you're doing a nonprofit organization From One Hand to Another. What is that about?
Yeah, so I'm the program manager. From One Hand to Another is a nonprofit that was founded by Pharrell Williams.
Oh.
And it started about 10, 11 years ago. He just had a passion for bringing kind of like his worldview into kids in Hampton Roads. So we do STEAM summer camps.
Okay.
So we're doing science, technology, engineering, arts, math, and motivation. The kids are learning about entrepreneurship, they're doing art, they're doing coding, and it's a 6-week summer camp here in Hampton Roads. We have about 20 locations here in Hampton Roads.
Wow.
Registration's actually open right now for kids.
Tell them how.
It's grades 2 through 12, and it's FOHTA, FOHTA.org. And so you can log on there and register your kids. It's free and open to the public, first come, first serve.
Wow.
And so I'm kind of responsible for programming in terms of what the curriculum looks like, making sure all of our teachers are trained, making sure they have what they need. Anything related to that, that's what I do for the organization. So it's really such a beautiful organization and awesome, exposure for the kids.
So how did you connect with that organization, and how did you connect with Pharrell?
So about 5-6 years ago, I met their COO, and we just met at an event, and Dr. Williams, who's Pharrell's mother, and we met at an event, just kind of kept in touch. And then my husband and I own a media company, and we also do workshops. So at the time, they were looking for some new curriculum. We wrote the entrepreneurship curriculum and just really stayed in touch. And then at the time, I was running STEM and entrepreneurship programs in Virginia Beach Public Schools. And the COO, Stacey, reached out to me and said, "Hey, we have an opportunity for you to come on board, like full time. Are you ready?" I was like, at the time I was looking for a transition. I was like, absolutely, I'm on board. And so I've been with them full time now for about 2 years.
That's
amazing.
Awesome.
Yes. You and your husband having your own media company, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be 5 years this year. So
wow.
We're celebrating 5 years, and my husband runs our company full time. And
so what do you do in that company?
So our company is called the Riddellin Group, and it's called that because it's a mix of both of our middle names. So his middle name is Riddell and my middle name is Lynn. So we kind of came up with something together. We came up with the company like while we were dating. So we were like, yo, this has to work out. It better work out.
Right.
And so we did that, and we do media production. So we do production for TV. We've done documentaries. We do films. Right now we're working on some other big projects. So yeah, that's what
we definitely need to
100%.
connect. Yes.
Yeah, 100% production. And then we also do workshops. So we have a great contract with 100 Black Men of America in Atlanta. So we do workshops for young boys down there, and then we also do workshops at colleges and universities around here about like empowerment and entrepreneurship.
That is awesome. Like, I don't even understand how you would just stumble across something like that. And, besides it's just meant to be.
Yeah.
Like that was your passion. That's what God gifted you with, of course.
And you're using it right. You're giving that.
Yeah, that's the whole point of stuff. I mean, a lot of people start things to be self-serving, but ours is like, hey, we want to give back. We want to see people win. Like, there's enough room for everybody.
It is.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So, in your media production, what do you do, or what projects have you had on your, what would you call it?
Our production company.
Yeah, your production company.
When we first started, we started a company because we had worked on so many other people's projects, and they like never went anywhere. We're like, you know what? First of all, we're tired of like doing other people's stuff just because it's not going anywhere.
Right.
We're really passionate about what we first thing, I had this like TV show idea. It's called Montage. And it was a lifestyle show, and we talked about like beauty, fashion. I do like New York Fashion Week, do shows about that, and then I actually got the show to air here locally on Cox.
Wow!
And then I was able to get it to air in California, New York City, Atlanta, and DC area. And so literally, I just did all that by reaching out to all the public access stations and just saying, "Hey, I've got this show. Would you guys love to air this on your network?" Like,
wow. So you kind of pitched it to them.
I pitched it to them, and I had, the product, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we're looking for content. This is great. This is produced very well.
Wow.
We'll put it on for free airtime." So that was like the most amazing blessing. So being able to do that and get in other markets around the country, like it was just me and him doing it. So both he and I shot, edit, produced, wrote, did all the interviews, everything. So we were shooting, and at the time we were both working full time, so we were doing like 20 some segments a month, just shooting up all night, editing, everything. Yeah, it was like a two-man band.
I'll sip to that. I'll sip to that.
Yes. But it's just about how bad you want it. And so
absolutely.
It's transition out. I just had a daughter.
I know,
so
she's beautiful
thank
too. You don't look like you just had a baby. What? She's 2 months.
She's 3 months old today. She's 3 months old today.
Crazy. She doesn't look like it, you guys.
Thank you.
That snapback is real.
She's 3 months old today. So our transition, our flow is a little bit different now. But yeah, we're still like, both of us just pretty much still do everything. We contract people every now and then. And we get a lot of interns from Hampton University, which we really support.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a journey. It's a lot of work for sure, but it's so rewarding.
So what happened to the show?
So it's kind of like in a hiatus. I'm doing a whole rebrand right now. So I'm gonna have another show coming out like later on this summer, fall. But in the meantime, I do lifestyle segments on the Hampton Road Show, and also on a show called Virginia This Morning, which is in Richmond. It's their CBS affiliate. So I've just had a great relationship with people. I had a great relationship with the executive producer of the Hampton Road Show because I want to say almost 10 years ago, I applied for this Face of Fox. I don't know if you heard of that. So I made it to like the top 6, and I didn't win. I was like 24, but I was devastated. But I just stayed in touch, and then they reached back out to me and said, "Hey, we see you're doing your thing. Would you like to come on and do some segments for us?" And I was like, "Sure." And so that's been a great relationship. And then Richmond is my hometown, and I reached out to them and said, "Hey, I'm doing this. Yeah, come on." So it literally is all about building relationships with people and keeping those relationships with people.
Absolutely. And it also goes to prove that the first should be last and the last should be first. Yeah, because you waited, and that just reminds me of American Idol. There's a lot of contestants on there that Jennifer Hudson didn't win. She didn't win, but she's winning. She did her thing. So that almost reminded me of that.
And the key is though, while you're waiting, you gotta work. So that is the key. People just want to wait and wait. No, while you're waiting, you put in the work.
Or they just want it handed to them. No, you have to work. I admire you for that. That is awesome. That is awesome. And networking is a big thing. You have to go to networking parties. You have to, keep doing what you have the passion to do. And my family, again, I'm going to get back to me because my family always call me extra. I'm not. I just like doing things, and it's just been me. Like, this is just who I am. So when it comes out, they can just say, this is just Shannon. This is just who she is. So I admire that, and I'm taking points. I'm taking some points here. So if anyone wanted to pitch an idea to your media company, are they able to do that?
So we're kind of like, I'm not going to say no, I'm not going to say yes. What we do is, we team up with, for instance, we team up with like colleges and universities, and we've done like movies and films with that. We are not opposed to taking other people's ideas. We're kind of just focusing on a lot of internal projects right now. So it's one of those things where, sure, we'd love to meet with you and connect with you, but it's also one of those things where you gotta come correct when you have a pitch and an idea. Like, hey, we need to know, like, do you have a budget for this? Do you have like your crew set up? Do you have like, do you know who's gonna produce this? So it's a matter of, we get a lot of people who come to us like, hey man, I have this idea. Okay, you tell me your idea, but you don't have any other thought behind it. So we don't just come with a random pitch from somebody down the street and we just make it happen. It's like you need to have your stuff together in order for us to come on board and be a part of that.
Now, do you offer workshops? Because a lot of people might not know. You really don't know what it takes to do all that. Because if I came to you and I said, hey, I have an idea, I really wouldn't know that I needed a crew, that I need to have a budget, that I need this or I need that. So do you offer workshops?
We haven't yet, not in production.
Okay.
So that, and that's a good idea. Thank you. We'll add that. But, you know, it's one of those things where we're still growing too. So it's like, you know, everybody kind of from the outside looking at them like, oh my gosh, you guys are good. You've made, this is what I want to do. But, you know, when you're somebody else's goals, we're always trying to get to somewhere else too. Yes. So it's like we're still kind of in the growing process as well. So of course we could totally do like, you know, a workshop and that, but we're still growing in that phase as well. So
do you plan to stay in this area or do you want to leave?
You know, there's a lot of good things happening in this area right now and a lot of good things that are about to happen.
Okay.
So I will say that as of right now, we're here, but we do travel a lot. So we have work like in Atlanta, New York. You know, we've kind of spread out in a lot of places. So we, you know, here is maybe home base, but we definitely travel and have work in other places.
That is awesome. Well, what would you say is the hardest part of your job, being a program manager, being a mother, being a wife, owning a media company, you know, running Pharrell's nonprofit organization?
I think not time management, it's not the hardest part. I think it's, I don't know, it's time management for sure, but it's just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's everything that I do is rewarding, and I don't do anything unless I'm 100% in it. So I've learned to say no to a lot of things for sure. I don't think anything of it is hard right now. I think it's just a matter of not enough hours in the day to get things done.
Yes.
Like I mean,
that too.
Like being a new mom, trying to balance that with like work, and then there's a lot of, you know, other things going on. But I have to give credit to my husband. Is so supportive of like everything that I do and everything that he does, and it's like he wants to see me win, and that's like the biggest thing. Like I mean, he works from home, so it's so cool because he's able to stay home with our daughter. Whenever he has shoots, we send her to the babysitter, and then you know there's times he's like, yo, you want to do something, go do it. Like I support you, and that is the biggest thing when you have a great support system. So he's never like, nah, why do you want to do that? He's like, go do it. Or if something I'm like kind of questioning, he's like, no, go do it, go try it.
Wow.
So literally, it hasn't been hard because I have a really great support system.
How long have you been married?
It'll be 3 years in November.
Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Got a long time to go.
I know. But we've known each other for like 10 years. So
wow.
Cool. Yeah, we've been friends for a while.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Jazz has some questions for you.
Yes.
Who inspires you?
Oh, who inspires me? I mean, obviously, like, I feel like the classic TV answer is Oprah for sure.
Okay.
But not just because she's like some billionaire. I think it's her work ethic, man. It's like unstoppable. And the fact that she's been able to like do things on her own to get things done, I would say she's like my number one for sure. Like I just want to sit down and talk to her.
Pick her head.
Always giving something out, always blessing others.
Absolutely.
Oprah's definitely always motivating me as well. So I agree with you there.
And they always say, you know, when you interact with a group of people, you should not be the smartest one in the room.
Exactly.
So you always want to, you know, have people that's a little bit smarter than you or know a little bit more than you, so you can continue to get that education. So I say Oprah too. I try to reach out to Oprah, but she's not responding to.
I mean, one day, that never come up.
Absolutely, because you know I love even the fact that her and Tyler Perry have gained together and started, you know, their own media.
Yeah.
Only thing I don't like about it is that they keep using the same people. You know, that's
yeah.
the thing I would change.
You need to give other people a chance.
Yeah.
For sure.
But the fact that they're creating opportunities for us, you know, is a blessing.
Fun.
Such a blessing. If you could co-host, or let's just say you had your own talk show, who or what celebrity besides Oprah would you want to sit beside you or co-host with? Or have you ever thought about it?
Like just as a guest or just
no,
in general?
Your co-host.
Know who I love? I really like Michelle Obama. Yeah. I love her energy.
Yeah.
Like she is just
everything.
Good vibes. Who else? I don't know if I've ever like deeply thought about who else I'd want as a co-host.
If you were to pick someone off of The Real, who would it be?
I like Adrienne.
Do you?
Yeah. I like her. She's just like fun.
Yes.
She's fun. It would be between her and Lonnie.
Really?
Yeah.
Lonnie's hilarious.
Yeah. I think because I'm thinking like you need somebody somebody who has like different energy than you, and so you want like
a little balance.
A little balance, exactly.
That's true. That's true. And I love that show. I reached out to them too.
Yeah.
And one other question: when would you know like that you made it? Like at what point would tell you, I made it? We made it, honey.
I think when you can see the fruits of your labor spread like all over. To me, it's not really a dollar amount that says we made it. But when people are like, if they see our work and be like, oh, we know y'all did that. Like, you know how you can, for instance, see like a Spike Lee movie and it's like, oh, he did that.
Right.
Or if like we produce something and it touches somebody's life. Like that's how I feel like I know I've made it, when a vast amount of people have been like affected by what I have done or what I've contributed. So that's when I feel like, but at the same time though, I'm always the type of person where if I've done something, I'm just like, oh, this was dope. Okay, I'm on to the next thing. So I don't know if I'll ever feel like, oh, you've made it, because once you've hit one pinnacle, there's like more to reach.
Right, exactly. And that is very true, because we say, God, if you just bless me with this one thing, I won't bother you no more, right?
It's like, oh,
yeah,
another thing.
I take that back. Let me have that one more thing. Good or bad? How much do you think social media plays in the role of, letting us in society know too much information, or maybe not enough information? And I'm gonna let you answer that, and then I'll give my opinion.
Too much, I think. You think recently, let's say what happened with Nipsey. Right. There's a video of his murder on Instagram, and it's like, I feel like that's too much. Whether it was a surveillance video or not, I just feel like that's too much. Not enough. There are a lot of people hurting on social media that you would never know, because they mask themselves. And I think everybody's guilty of it. You post a smiling picture and you like just finished crying, or you got in an argument with your husband or your family or your friend, whatever it is. And I think the illusion that everybody's doing well is definitely the downfall of our generation, for sure. Yeah, because next thing you know, somebody smiles, I was just hanging with her, we were cool. Yeah. And then they show up and they're like, they've committed suicide or something. Wow. So I think just trying to be a little bit more transparent. I've actually been working on that myself. I think it's so hard because everybody expects you to be a certain way. Right. So then when you're like feeling down, it's like, oh, she's trying to get attention or this and that. So it's just like those days when I feel down, or I sometimes try not to post just because it's just, I don't feel like it. Right. But at the same time, I feel like, man, my like pain could really help somebody. So I wrote an article before I had my baby. I was like really depressed about being pregnant. Like, really? Yeah, I was like, I wrote an article on my website, and like, I did not understand like the impact that it had. So many people hit me like, oh my God, like I felt the same way. And I just like never knew, and people who saw me like never knew, like those close to me knew, but like everybody else, like even my dad called me, he was so mad. He was like, what? Oh my God, I didn't know this was going on. I was like, I'm sorry, like I don't know how to like talk about it other than to write about it. So I think being transparent about your problems and your feelings is, you're gonna help somebody. Yeah. And you're right. And the sad part too, you touched on the fact that when you do put that information out there, people think that you're just doing it for attention. Yeah. So that sends people back in, because they like nobody cares, or they're gonna just think this and that. And we're so hard on each other. Yeah. It's so sad, and especially this world now, because it's sensitive. Yeah. It's very, very sensitive out here. And the way we're talking to each other, the way we're treating one another, the way men are treating us. I mean, even the relationship of men and women have fallen to the side. You don't see anybody that's wanting to get married anymore. They don't honor their father. I mean, it's just, it can just go on and on, and it's just so sad. Well, people have made it just so, like, oh, he cheats, okay, take him back. It's like, what are your standards, And not to say, like, everybody's situation is different. And then when you're married, that's a whole nother ball game. But it's just, like, if people have made it so easy to just, like, be just straight up disrespectful, and everybody accepts it. Absolutely. So it's social media is really, really tricky nowadays. Yes, it is. It's real tricky. It really, really is, and it's scary. It is. And I really think social media has ruined so many relationships because they glorify, being single, or you have these girls out here chasing these guys or these rappers because they think they have money, and they want it, and by any means necessary. And I know that's your man, but you should have been doing what you had to do. And
that doesn't even play into it half of the time. If you make yourself available and you offer temptation, it's gonna come.
Exactly.
So, you know.
And I always say, and I might get backlash for this, but I always say, like, in these situations, like, the woman holds the power.
Yes.
So my thing is, if you know a man is married, why are you going up to him?
Absolutely.
Like, you're the woman, and you know, like, you hold the power in the situation. Like, I don't understand why women are still going up to the married men or people who are taking in relationships, like, and doing this. You know the deal.
You know it.
So why? My thing is, as a woman, I'm gonna check somebody if I know that they're going to do something.
Absolutely.
Like, sis, if he's gonna do that to you,
Absolutely.
what makes you think he's not gonna do it?
Absolutely.
It drives me crazy. That's a conversation for a whole nother day.
Yes, a whole other day. We'll be sipping the whole bottle all night long. How real girls talk. Jasmine, do you have any other questions for Stephanie?
No, my question was here.
That's just one question, Jasmine.
That was it.
Well, before we wrap it up, Stephanie, I do want you to give maybe some advice to people that are interested in going into journalism, that's interested in possibly starting their own media company. Just, you know, what could they do? Or, you know, just give them something to go on.
If you're interested in going into journalism, the first thing I would say is just, like, do your research and know how to do everything. So don't just know how to hold a microphone and talk to people. Like, know how to produce, know how to edit, know how to write, know how to shoot, know how to, like, contact, reach people, because you're going to be, like, your own PR, your own everything for a minute.
Wow.
Definitely know how to do everything, and just do it for genuine reasons. There's a lot of people who want to get into journalism just so they can, like, be around celebrities and do this and that, but it's really not all it's cracked up to be. Like, in real life, it's not, you know? It's really cool when you get around people who are humble and nice, but it can be a little overrated.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I was gonna just know how to do everything, and then if you don't know how to do it, just say yes and figure it out. Like, my first job, I didn't know, the people asked me, hey, do you know how to produce? You want to produce our show? I was like, sure. I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned along the way, and it worked out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're interested in starting your own company, make sure you have, like, your paperwork together and your business sense together.
Right.
It costs money to start your own business,
yes, it
so
does.
you're not going to see a lot of money in return your first couple years. Like, I think for us, like, yeah, we've made money every year, but we're just starting to, like, see money, like, oh, we can actually see this and do stuff with it, like, this 5th year. So, I mean, it takes time here, and if you're doing this for, like, a quick flip, this ain't for you. So, yeah, just be patient, because it's so easy to give up when you don't see, like, the fruits of your labor immediately, and just know that, like, people closest to you might not support you immediately. Right. Until they start to see the fruits of your labor.
All the time. All the time. And I wouldn't depend on, and it's sad to say this, but I would not depend on my friends or my family. Not that they don't love me, because I trust that they do. Yeah. But my dependency would not be on them, because they're not going to want to push my baby as much as I'm going to push my baby.
And it's different. They see you as just you, like, but whereas other people who don't necessarily know you, they see you as a business. Absolutely. So they treat it differently. It's not to say that they don't care, they don't support you. It's just a different kind of support. Right.
And that's true. That's very, very true. Before leaving, I know you are also working on Pharrell's Something in the Water. Mm-hmm. What are you doing with that? Can you talk about it?
I'd rather not.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, and I hope everybody who's watching is coming. Wow. Yeah, we're working on a couple different aspects of it, and it's gonna be more than just music. Wow. So it's gonna be some awesome things coming from it. So yeah, I can't say too much. Yeah, it is going to be epic, and that weekend we just hope everybody keeps, like, a positive vibe, positive atmosphere, and just, like, be patient and be supportive of one another. You accidentally bump somebody, it's okay, sis. Like, it's okay. But yeah, it's gonna be the most amazing weekend this area has ever seen
in a long time. Yes, let's bring Virginia back.
It's gonna be awesome.
There's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of people that are really willing to do things. So I really hope, just like Stephanie said, y'all, please just keep it together. Enjoy the festival. Pharrell is coming out and stepping out on a limb to bring something back to Virginia, and the least we can do is be there to support him. Yes. Is there any closing statements or anything that you want to say to our sippers before we leave?
Well, first of all, thank you both for having me. I love to see, like, our women, like, doing their thing, which is the main reason why I wanted to come on. I, like, totally support women who are doing their thing, and just, like, Stay positive. I'm really just all about like good energy. I have a good circle around me who keeps good energy, and we all kind of support each other. So just like lift people up and just keep good vibes with people. That's all I say.
Y'all heard what she said. So we guys, we thank you again for joining us for another edition of I'll Sip to That. We thank Stephanie for taking the time out. Yes, thank you so much. And coming to Sip to That with your girl Shannon and Jazz So Harlem. We'll see you guys next week. Stay tuned. Go to our Instagram page at sip_to_that, and make sure you DM us or just follow our page. And then you also can follow us on Facebook at Shannon. And if you have any questions, concerns, or anything, just let us know, and we'll always be here to answer them for you. And like we always say, Stephanie, put your glass in the air and say, I'll sip to that. Thank you guys. Be blessed.